Madhavam Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Yashodanandana Brajaganarandana Yashodanandana Brajaganarandana Jamuna Tira Vanantari Jamuna Tira Vanantari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Gopi Vallabha Girivara Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Yashodanandana Brajaganarandana Yashodanandana Brajaganarandana Jamuna Tira Vanantari Jamuna Tira Vanantari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, bolo, bolo. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 Gaura Sivanande Jai Sripad Paramahamsa Pri Bhradra Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Chalo Boy Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Iskan BBT, Founder Sharyas, Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Samavata Bhakta Vrinda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nainitai Gaura Pimanande, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksurandalitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sadrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva sa Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhaviti Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and the loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Vishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Maha. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Sarabhyaya
Om
Namaha.
Surabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha.
Om Surabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha.
Om Surabhyaya Namaha.
Mukam karoti vasalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam yatkripatamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to our Bhagavatam class, especially those who are coming in the rain from Rasamrita Kunj. We're just walking very close. You're coming. It's like, actually, it rained also on Janmashtami. It rained on Janmashtami, on the original Janmashtami.
Yes. How long?
Whole night.
Well,
Night there was
yeah, well,
What
I
is the
mean,
next night?
torrents of rain.
well, rain is connected with Janmashtami. Exactly when, we don't know.
We don't know.
But
maybe this night also.
yeah. Because Ananta Sesh was,
Yeah.
yes.
But this is also rainy season, so
Yes, yeah.
it's natural.
Natural, correct. It's natural. So we're missing one player, huh? What happened to Nandeshwara? He's under the weather, as they say.
Some problem.
Yeah. Yes, material body means problem. Material world means. Okay, so we are. Yes, we are continuing reading from Canto number 1, chapter 9, which is entitled "The Passing of Bhishmadev," and today we are reading text number 9. Yes. Tan sametan maha bhagan upalabhya vasuttamaha pujayam asa dharma gno desha kala vibhagavit tan sametan mahabhagan upalabhya vasuttamaha pujayam asadharmagno desha kala vibhagavit tan sametan mahabhagan upalabhya vasuttamaha pujayam asadharmagno Deshakala vibhagavit tan sametan mahabhagan upalabhya vasuttamaha pujayam asadharmagno Deshakala vibhagavit
देशकालाविभागभेद
तान् समेतान् महाभागान्
Sametan Mahabhagan
उपलभ्य वसुत्तमः
Upalabhya Vasuttamaha
पूजयन्मास धर्मज्ञो
Pujayamasa Dharmagno
देशकालाविभागवे
Devkala Vibhagavet
तन् समेतान् महाभागान्
Tan Sametan Mahabhagan
उपलभ्य वसुत्तमः
Upalabhya Vasuttamaha
पूजयाम् आश धर्माग्नो
Pujayamasa Dharmagno
देशकालाविभागवे
Deshakala Vibhagavet
तन् समेतन् महाभागन्
Tan Sametan Mahabhagan
उपलभ्य वसुत्तमः
Upalabhya Vasuttamaha
पूजयम् आस धर्माग्नो
Pujayam Asadharmagno
देशकालाविभागवे
Deshakala Vibhagavet
तं समेतं महाभागन्
Tan Sametan Mahabhagan
उपलभ्यावसुत्तमः
Upalabhya Samuttamaha
पूजयम् आशधर्माग्नो
Pujayam Asadharmagno
देशकालाविभागवे
Deshakala Vibhagavet Tan
तन्
all of them
all of them
Sametan
sametan
assembled together
assembled together
Mahabhagan
Mahabhagan
all greatly powerful
all greatly powerful
Upalabhya
Upalabhya
having received
having received
Vasu Uttamaha
Vasuttamaha
the best among the Vasus
the best among the Vasus
Bhishmadeva
Bhishmadeva
Pujayam
Pujayam
Pujayam Asa
Pujayam Asa
welcomed
welcome
Dharmagna
Dharmagna
one who knows
one who knows
religious principles
religious principles
Desha
Desha
place
place
Kala
Kala
time
time
Vibhagavit
Vibhagavit
one who knows
one who knows
the adjustment
the adjustment
of place and time.
the place and time.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sridham Prabhupada ki.
Jai Prabhupada.
Bhishmadev, who was the best among the 8 Vasus, received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis who were assembled there, for he knew perfectly all the religious principles according to time and place. Kindly repeat after me. Bhishmadeva,
Bhishmadeva,
who was the best
who was the best
amongst the 8 Vasus,
amongst the 8 Vasus,
received and welcomed
received and welcomed
all the great and powerful rishis
all the great and powerful rishis
who were assembled there,
who were assembled there,
for he knew perfectly
for he knew perfectly
all the religious principles
all the religious principles
according to time and the place.
according to time and place.
Purport. Expert religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principles in terms of time and place. All the great acharyas, or religious preachers, or reformers of the world, executed their mission by adjustment of religious principles in terms of time and place. There are different climates and situations in different parts of the world. And if one has to discharge his duties to preach the message of the Lord, he must be expert in adjusting things in terms of time and place. Bhishmadev was one of the 12 great authorities in preaching this cult of devotional service. and therefore he could receive and welcome all the powerful sages assembled there at his deathbed from all parts of the universe. He was certainly unable at that time to welcome and receive them physically because he was neither at his home nor in a normal, healthy condition. But he was quite fit by the activities of his sound mind, and therefore he could utter sweet words with hearty expressions, and all of them were well received. One can perform one's duty by physical work, by mind, and by words, and he knew well how to utilize them in the proper place, and therefore there was no difficulty for him to receive them, although physically unfit. Translation again. Bhishma Dev, who was the best amongst the 8 Vasus, received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis who were assembled there, for he knew perfectly all the religious principles according to time and place. So,
Hare Krishna.
yes. Mhm. So what is especially emphasized in the text and purport, Prabhupada quite elaborately uh, discusses this point of, uh, we say, Kala Desha Patra, here, Kala Desha, Kala time, and place. And then there is Patra. Patra means, in Sanskrit, huh?
Patra means leaf. No, that letter. Letter.
Kala Desha Patra.
In this regard, the meaning will be differ with patra means paper.
Paper.
The patra means the involvement.
Patra. Patra means
Involvement.
Also. Part.
Or involvement.
Who are the real Sanskrit scholars here?
Have to check.
He's studying Sanskrit, so that's why I'm asking him.
Patra master.
Yeah,
There's Patra and Patra.
Yeah, Deshakala Patra. Patra means it is
part.
We normally translate time, place, and circumstance.
Yes.
But sometimes Patra is also translated, maybe our Sanskrit scholar can correct us,
Yeah, Patra is
person. That is a little tricky actually, because in Sanskrit, look up your dictionary. In Sanskrit, the same word will have different meanings, but generally in most of the places where we see it often.
Subject.
Subject. Subject is
Patra is
person.
subject.
Yes. Yeah. Subject. There's subject and object.
Yeah.
Right. Subject is person. So in Sanskrit, actually, the same word, of course, there is sometimes like the the vowel. I mean, the same word will have different meanings. So here it is nicely explained, of course, explaining how Grandfather Bhishma Dev, who is one of the 12 Mahajans, so he is very knowledgeable about Dharma. He is one of the 12 authorities on Dharma, especially because he is incarnation of Dharmaraj. And so many great personalities we've been reading in the last few days. Narada Muni was present, Sridham Vyasadeva was present, so many other great rishis were present. Coming to actually be present with grandfather Bhishmadev to pay their last respects to him, to honor him because he was such an exalted personality himself. And so this point is being explained here. Not only should one know what are the principles of dharma, one should also know how to apply these principles. It's just one thing to have jnana, but it is another to have vigyan, isn't it? So gyan and vigyan are of two different natures. And the more one has vigyan, then he becomes more expert in applying the teachings, the eternal teachings of the Vedic literatures according to Kala Desha Patra, according to time, place, and subject. We could also say audience. Prabhupada is making reference here also how over the course of history, different personalities, and sometimes he would refer, for example, to Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus made a very big impact in the world 2,000 years ago, and it's still, we're following although today's Janmashtami, but we, especially in the Western country, it is year 2024. But if we were to follow the Krishna calendar, it's like 5,000, whatever, yeah. Maybe one day, when Vedic knowledge and Vedic culture becomes again reestablished globally, because the Vedic knowledge is a universal knowledge. And although great personalities over the centuries have come, they also taught, Prabhupada, many times he makes reference especially to Lord Jesus, he especially taught according to that time, according to his audience. His his teachings were according to the people who were receiving. Just like someone may be a big professor, let's say of mathematics or Sanskrit, but if he visits a school where all the children or the students are in primary, that he will not speak about high mathematics. He will speak according to what they can understand, isn't it? So in a similar way, those who are acharyas, those who are especially empowered messengers of the Lord. So Lord Jesus, Prabhupada explained, we accept him as Guru, because he was teaching the science of Godhead, and he directly mentioned actually that there are many things that I am not revealing to you. That's in the Bible actually. There are many things that I cannot tell you, or that I am not telling you. And therefore he spoke very little, practically not at all, about who his father. He presented himself as the Son of God. And he explained that we are all created, that's also in the Bhagavad Gita, we are created at the image of God. So God is a person, we are also a person, like that. But he taught very simple principles which are summarized in what we call the 10 Commandments. The first one being, thou shalt not kill. Yeah. But Prabhupada would point out that thou shalt not kill is sometimes wrongly translated as thou shalt not murder. So, of course, everyone can easily understand we should not kill other people, but most people don't understand that also we should not kill animals, isn't it? Because they are also praja. In the beginning of the creation, the Prajapatis, we were, like Daksha, Prajapati, Daksha, so many Prajapatis, they are meant to rule the world, they're meant to rule different parts of the world, and they are understanding the need to give protection to all those who are born, whether they are humans or animals, isn't it? So we can see an example of Srila Prabhupada, how expert he was in preaching Krishna consciousness. So time, place, and circumstance, there are some things that cannot be changed, and there are some things that can be changed. We need to know what. So we refer to what is called primary instructions and secondary instructions. Small example, before going to America, Srila Prabhupada, as we know, he was connected with the Gaudiya Math. He was disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada referred to that at some point. He mentioned, my Guru Maharaj said that if someone doesn't chant 64 rounds a day, he's an animal. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada had that challenge, okay, how to get everyone to chant, and actually initially he gave the instruction in America that you have to chant 64 rounds. When his early disciples heard this instruction, they said, we cannot chant 64 rounds. So Prabhupada, this is one example. He adjusted actually this chanting number of rounds from 64 to 32 and then to 16. And then Prabhupada said, okay, this is the minimum chanting 16 rounds. So Kala Deshapatra is, not everyone is expert in adjusting the teachings. And it's only someone like Srila Prabhupada who could introduce, for example, when I joined as a devotee, we didn't have actually a temple. In many places in the early days, there were no temples. So we had to rent one small, either apartment or small house. We had a small house. And in that small house, boys and girls were living, which in the Vedic culture is not recommended. And there was only one bathroom also. So, Mataji had to wait in line and Prabhus had to wait in line, and it was like Prabhupada allowed such situations. Of course, there was strict separation, let's say, between men and women. But to introduce or to teach the principles of Sanatana Dharma, different countries will also have different situations. Um, so this point is being made here, how there are generally, by we can serve the Lord, we can worship the Lord either by our mind, by words, or by activities. So somehow, according to different situations, just like normally Vaishnavas, they wear tilak and sika, but in some countries where Prabhupada sent some of his devotees, um, you cannot wear these external signs of a Vaishnava. So in such situations, then it was not any fault not to wear tilak. So like this, what is most important is somehow getting the message of Krishna consciousness to as many people as possible, but without what is it? Without without changing the essence of the message of Krishna consciousness. Without what is it? Without compromising the essence of what Krishna consciousness is all about. So we can just imagine the scene that is being described here. Already Grandfather Bhishmadev has been on his bed of arrows for quite a few days, and he will continue to be in that condition. And even though at the very end Prabhupada mentions he was not physically, Prabhupada says he was not physically fit, he was not physically well to properly receive all the great personalities who came. So in our Vedic culture, it mentions that what are two things, like basic things, that one should do in receiving guests? One is mentioned here by Srila Prabhupada.
They have to offer one seat to sit and
Sitting place, yes.
and have to give a glass of water, minimum.
Glass of water,
Yeah.
yes.
The two things should be done when guest receive.
When guests receive. Yes, that is correct. There's something else also that is mentioned by Prabhupada does mention. Here doesn't mention about sitting place, but that is correct.
Yeah.
And also glass of water Prabhupada did not mention here, but in other places he mentions. And the third thing that Prabhupada mentioned,
one should not treat the guest.
No, of course, your guest you don't, yes. Sweet words.
Yeah.
Sweet words.
Yeah. That's what I would tell.
That's what you want to do. It was just about to come out.
Yeah.
So, Grandfather Bhishmadev, he could not offer water. He could not do anything because he was immobile. You know. He could, but he could offer sweet words, which is what he did actually. Yeah. So, like this, he not only he received them, but as will be described, the main person who was, we could say, targeted, the main person for whom this whole lila was arranged, Krishna actually arranged this lila, was for especially Yudhishthira Maharaj, isn't it, to receive knowledge, and again, Grandfather Bhishmadev. Here's another example. When Narada Muni, in the 7th canto, chapter 11, which is the beginning of his discourse on dharma, again, that was Yudhishthira Maharaj requesting, because Narad Muni happened to be visiting Yudhishthira Maharaj in his palace. He was very nicely received also. And Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to hear from Narada Muni. That is a custom, especially grihasthas. They used to invite, like Prabhupada's father, sadhus, saintly persons, to hear from them. So in the very beginning, Narada Muni is like a brahmachari. And in the very beginning, he, after hearing this request from Yudhishthira Maharaj, he begins by telling, I am simply repeating what I have heard from the great authorities. That means, just like Bhishma Dev, he's not a householder. Bhishma Dev also brahmachari, lifelong brahmachari. That whole vow that he took. So, because sometimes the question is there, how can sannyasis speak about householder life? Who are they to speak about family life? So what is the answer? The answer is mentioned by Narada Muni, that I will speak to you, my dear Yudhishthira Maharaj, about the varnas, the ashramas. One of the varnas is grihastha ashram. So how brahmachari can speak on grihastha ashram? Maybe he can speak about brahmachari ashram. So he can speak about grihastha ashram because he has heard from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the most expert in all the ashrams. Krishna knows about family life in Dwarka. No? He has not only one or two wives, he has 16,108. So he's the most expert about family life. And he had so many children, isn't it? 10 sons from each wife. And how many daughters?
16,108.
Daughters?
Huh?
Daughters.
Daughters.
And that is the source.
And I listened, Krishna, every wife, 10
Sons.
10 son and one daughter.
I heard also one daughter.
Where you heard this?
Huh?
Where did you heard this?
What is your source of hearing?
Iskon devotee Prabhuji's.
I heard also, but I've not read it as
Yeah, I
such.
also remember like that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Krishna
that
book
one.
also mentioned it. Krishna book.
In Krishna book also it is mentioned.
So that means that Krishna had 16,108 daughters.
8 daughters.
So, yes, correct. So that means that Krishna was very experienced as a householder, isn't it? So that means if we hear from Krishna, even as regardless of our varna, then we can speak on the subject matter. Yeah. So this is, yeah. But sometimes this Kaladesha Patra becomes controversial. Maybe we should not enter into. Just like we have what is called Krishna West. You know Krishna West? A little bit. Krishna West, the philosophy understanding that we in the Western countries, we have a different situation than India. In India, it's okay for people to wear this kind of cloth. But in America, we're Western. Why we should wear Indian clothes? And so we have some devotees who don't wear Indian clothes anymore.
Yeah, but which country clothes they wear?
Huh?
Every country have a traditional dress code. In every time they have traditional dress code. It's not a blue jean or not a t-shirt. It's a traditional dress.
So what is the traditional dress
If
of
you want to
America?
go to the a special place of America, they have a special country code. You have to take that to wear. According to this principle, if you go to one state, you have to change the dress.
So why didn't Prabhupada change his dress when he went to America?
I don't know. But if someone says that is the principle, they have to change their dress according to the
According to Kala Deshapatra.
Kailash Patra.
But Prabhupada didn't follow that.
Yeah.
Yet he was expert.
Yes.
Actually, Prabhupada, he mentions somewhere, I forget, maybe some conversation, that just like, what is it? In different countries, they constantly change, what's the word? Yeah, in à la mode, fashion.
Yeah,
That's the word, fashion. Because it's like people change, they make new cars every year because they want to make money. So the fashion changes also for making money. So in one statement, Prabhupada mentions that actually the real fashion that should eventually be adopted is the fashion that our Vedic culture is advocating in terms of wearing tilak and wearing nice,
Created one fashion.
yeah,
Prabhupada
the
created.
Krishna fashion.
Yeah, but also Krishna Prabhupada told that when you are approaching people and they are disturbed by seeing very strange, clothes,
Yes,
you can wear a gentleman
yes, Prabhupada did allow.
cloth. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a whole big debate at one time. Those who were those who were book distributors, um, whether they completely, absolutely had to distribute books in devotee dress, or whether they could wear what we call karmi dress. So Prabhupada allowed. Yes, that is correct.
And if you go to Muslim countries like Turkey or
Yes,
very serious countries like Iran,
yes, serious. Yeah,
you
correct.
have to.
Adjust to that.
And I know devotees who are wearing this burqa and they chant 16 rounds. But if they don't wear burqa, they will be killed by their parents.
Yes.
So it's just
Yes. That is there. That is there. At the same time, actually, one of our devotees, who he's an Ayurvedic doctor, he gave a seminar last year during Kartik here, Dattatreya. Yeah. Hopefully he'll come again this year to give. He had a very part of his seminar, because being Ayurvedic doctor, he was explaining how the kind of dress that we wear affects our health. He gave a nice presentation, and he was telling, for example, even without being Ayurvedic doctor, we should know that most of the dress that we are wearing today is artificial, is chemically based, isn't it? And it is actually very unhealthy. That's one thing. The textile industry in the world is one of the most polluting industries, because of the factories that they have to make these textile clothes, and also because of the chemicals they use, and also petroleum. Small example, one of our devotees in Canada, at one of our major temples, he was like the main pujari. And I won't tell the name of the temple, but it was time for arati. Everyone was in front of the deities. The doors were closed, and he was finishing some offering. And he was wearing one silk dhoti, but it must have been a silk dhoti that was maybe not pure, because what happened is that his dhoti caught on fire. And it kind of like very quickly just completely burnt him. And he was, no one could understand or hear it, and he was alone. And then everyone was waiting, why the door is not opening. So his body was, I don't know, 4-degree burn or something. He was brought to the hospital, and he passed away, actually. So, number one, most of the dress and the clothes that is produced, that's on the market, is actually unhealthy to wear because of the way it's made. That's number one. Secondly, he was explaining, our Ayurvedic doctor, how what is more natural and more healthy is to wear clothes that is more loose. This kind of tight dress, and he was healthy. He went on to explain about wearing the in contact with and more we use this more natural dress. The Western dress. So it's a subject matter that one needs to be cautious about, and this is the point that is being made here. Accommodate, and others, we cannot change the basic, let's say, philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So, any thoughts or questions? Yes. Here.
In the purport, but he was quite with the activities of the sound mind.
Yes.
So that is the exact sound mind, that word.
Sound mind.
Yeah, exact meaning and what context.
Okay, well, because English is not your first language, so sound usually we think of noise,
Yeah.
or here, sound mind is the word sound mind is a word that is sometimes used as an adjective or as a noun. If you say, what is that sound? That's a noun. What is that noise?
No.
What is that? Yeah, sound vibration.
Yes.
But yeah, mind is the noun, and sound is an adjective, like sound vibration. Vibration, well, that's different.
Yeah.
Sound vibration is not the same as sound.
Similar to strong or
Yes, yeah. So sound, when we say sound mind, means good mind, healthy mind, strong mind. Yeah, that's what you're asking, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, sound mind.
But how you build that kind of sound mind?
In what context we can say that word, sound mind?
That you have to learn English. That's according to English vocabulary. So,
English, addressed by Prabhupada,
Huh?
Here Prabhupada was addressed to him sound mind with his activities of sound mind.
Yes, yeah. So in this expression, in this sentence, sound mind is very common in English. It's very common in English. He was of a sound mind even to the end of his, life. It means he had clear thinking. He had strong, good ability of mind. What Prabhupada is simply
It's
mentioning.
coming from insanity.
Insanity,
Yeah.
sound.
Sanity or insanity, that the sound word comes from this original insanity or sanity. It's insan and san. And that
Oh,
was the origin of coming this word song.
yeah,
The
sanity.
song.
Yeah.
Sanity.
You know what sanity means?
The Latin sanus, sound, healthy. That is the origin of this word.
Yes. And what is the Sanskrit origin? Yeah.
Stable. Something.
Yes. So sound means healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy. Had a healthy mind. Even though just like Srila Prabhupada we were discussing the other day, Srila Prabhupada's body was totally like unhealthy or unfit for so many months. Prabhupada was fasting, his body was very thin, we know, but he was of sound mind till
Yes.
the very end.
He was clearly saying the Bhagavatam.
Yes, he was clearly speaking and giving a comment, purports on the Bhagavatam. Yes.
This is the main topic of sound,
Yes.
useful for meditation, chanting, focusing, keeping.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the
Yes.
main topic of any sadhana when you speak about any yoga process. The mind
Yes.
is the healthy mind is the key element.
Yes.
It's very deeply analyzed for different scriptures, and bhakti scriptures really give stress.
Stress. Yes.
In this
Yes.
context, we can say that sound mind is Tivra.
Tibra.
Tivra.
Tibra.
In
Tibra.
Sanskrit, Tibra.
Tibra.
Tivra means extensively.
Extensive.
Extensively.
That's interesting.
Tibra.
Okay, just like this verse, akama sarva kamova moksha kama udaradi tivrena.
Yes,
yes,
yes.
Tivra.
Tivrena
Tivrena
bhakti
bhakti
yogena.
yogena.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
interesting. That's connecting the mind. It looks like a lotus flower in the heart, and when there is a peaceful and sound, it's like opening
Lotus
like a
flower.
lotus flower. And when you have aggravation, when you have disturbance, it's closing.
Yeah, yes, to
And
protect.
that's how you can reach others' mind by tivrena, by expanding your mind
Yes, yes,
to others. And then
yes,
open-minded person means
yes.
they can reach others' mind.
We may not be able to expand our body, but we can expand our mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
In
Yes.
Sanskrit, sound in mind is called Kalya Chitta.
Kali,
Kalya Chitta.
ka,
Kalya Chitta.
kalye,
Kalya.
kalya,
Kalya
Chitta.
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 Chitta means the consciousness.
Consciousness.
Yes.
Kalya means the. What
Kalya
does
means
Kalya mean?
sound. Kalya means sound maybe.
Kalya
Kalya
means
Chitta.
sound.
Yeah. Kalya Chitta.
Okay. Yes, yes.
For one word, so many
So many
different,
meanings are
different
there.
meanings.
This is
Oh, yeah.
For one word, so many different meanings
Yes.
in
Well,
Sanskrit.
that's what the Goswamis were discussing for hours and hours every day. Yeah, because they were all Sanskrit scholars,
Yes.
and they were all given the wonderful seva service of deeply studying the so many different shastras, which they did, and therefore, those Bhagavatam classes must have been of another world practically.
Auspiciousness.
Yeah.
And that's the way of creation. these persons like Prajapatis
Yes.
have their mind fixed
Mm.
on that meanings,
Yes.
and according to the meanings, they create visible
Strong.
objects.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that's their way. From the word, from the sound, they create more gross elements.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So if you understand the Sanskrit language properly, we can understand how they created these material words. So we can at
Yes.
least know what to do with them.
Yes. 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 Yes.
For the word kalya is the meaning is in Sanskrit. It is seasonable.
Seasonable.
Yeah,
That means time.
time,
Timely.
Yeah. According to season.
season.
Now it's like now it's
Kalya,
like it's now Chaturmas.
Chaturmas.
Now it's rainy season.
Rainy.
Correct. Yeah. So
Or don't walk at all.
or don't walk at all. Yeah. People walk without umbrella also, but it's not recommended. Yeah. Yes.
Kaladeshapatra, a white dress devotee,
White
white
dress.
dress devotee for
Yes.
he can wear a saffron dress for preaching, for better preaching, because for people will attract him.
Where do you get these questions?
A brahmachari said me like this, so I'm not.
I see. Okay. It's not your question. Somebody else.
Actually, I heard of his name when you have given that institute name.
Yeah.
He was asked by someone else. Why? I think he only asked your holiness, why did Guru Maharaj give that Jnana Samudra?
Yes.
So it fit for that name because he asks unique questions.
Unique questions.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Because he's a unique person.
Yeah.
Everyone likes you unique. That is generally not a proper application of Kaladeshapatra.
No, white devotee not wear saffron dress for preaching,
No.
but saffron dress can wear white dress for preaching and gentleman dress for preaching.
No. Brahmachari doesn't wear white dress for preaching, but he can wear, if one is traveling to some country where it is not
Yes.
allowed to have, let's say, Vedic attire, then he can wear gentleman dress.
Yes.
Yeah. Ordinary dress. Yeah.
That's the principle. Is I understood that when you meet one person first time, before you have one sound like a sweet word, how you looks, that creates a changing of the mind of the other person. And most of the persons likes to see gentlemen to approach them, because then they have good experience, and gentlemen are not disturbing them, not a sailor, a beggar. They are disturbing this person because they reach they approach for money.
Dress is
But
different.
yeah, but if a gentleman approaching them, they have experience. Gentleman doesn't ask my money, doesn't push me. They listen to me. They respect me. So the first changing of the mind by your dress, by your smiling face, and then they immediately more open.
So that means we cannot preach in dhoti anymore.
We can if we don't create these bad feelings.
If you
Yeah. double double
double smile.
double smile. Then
Dress
yeah.
is a dress.
Yeah, there's a whole expertise actually. There's a whole expertise in approaching new people.
Yeah.
Yeah. especially if you're dressed in what is considered by most people a foreign dress. Like another word for foreign dress is alien.
Yeah.
He's
Stranger.
from some other planet, this guy.
Yeah, afraid.
Yeah. One time I was actually visiting my mother in the hospital, and I was dressed, like this, and I was I was going up an elevator. I was alone in the elevator, and then when when the door opened, there was one lady who was waiting to go into the elevator, and then, when the doors opened, she saw me. She said, "Oh!" She was shocked. Yeah, because it was not a common sight. She was not expecting. But anyways, I mean, she didn't she didn't faint or anything, but she was,
Strange things.
Actually, many people, because Vedic culture is very less known outside of India, and therefore there are many people who, just by seeing devotees, especially in the early days, even now it happens, but it used to happen more, just by seeing devotees, because they dress so different,
Yeah, they were feel that
that let me walk on the other side of the street.
yeah.
Let me not. I don't want to meet these people. Yeah, but
General people
yeah,
think that these people are very crazy.
yes, yes, uh, yes. At least different.
What should one do when we try to chant Hare Krishna, but the mind is somehow stubbornly not, fixed, like mentally disturbed? Can we continue with Hare Krishna, or
Well, I think it's Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur who says that we should take our shoe and beat the mind 100 times.
should it become more disturbed?
And at night time we take a broom.
Yeah. Not one time.
Something.
Not one time.
Yeah,
Can be.
100 times. 100 times. Well, it's like if you have an animal like a dog who may be very disturbed or something, sometimes you have to take a stick. Hut, hut, hut.
A brahmachari,
Another brahmachari question here.
yes, yes, if a brahmachari, he has no Brahman type brain.
A brahmachari has no brahmana thread.
No, Brahman type, Brahman politics.
Brahman type brain.
Brain.
Brahman type brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thinking of Brahman type. But he is do in temple like Shudra type or seva.
Yes.
But he has Vaishya type brain.
Brain.
Vaishya type brain. Okay.
So he can do business or not. He is a brahmachari.
Can he do business as a
For temple business, for temple it is.
If one is serving in the temple, he can do any kind of seva.
Business.
Well, business means just like we have devotees who are brahmacharis and selling books behind the book counter, that kind of business, but not independently. Brahmachari should not do anything independently. If he wants to do business independently, then he should give up his saffron color and adopt white color.
No, he is a brahmachari, saffron dress,
Yes.
and not only book selling, other business also he
You
can
know,
do or not.
we have so many different articles that we are selling besides book in the temple, in all of our temples. So brahmachari, it's not that because he's wearing saffron that he cannot sell those items. Yeah, but normally when we say business, when we say somebody doing business, normally it means separate, individual. That the brahmachari cannot do. But a brahmachari can sell different items in a temple because that is not a business. That is devotional service. That is um, getting people to come in contact with Krishna by buying some different, just like they sell paintings or they sell.
I like to say uh, if we have a temple have more land.
Yes.
More land, so all the land we cultivating plants,
Yes.
fruits, vegetables.
Yes.
What we get for temple, what we need for temple, we
Yes.
and others we can sell market.
Outside. Yes.
And
Yes.
what profit for temple
Yes.
we can do.
Yes. Yes. Even as brahmachari, actually, he's interested in land, and he wants to learn how to grow vegetables, and he wants to know, okay, if I grow more vegetables, can I sell those
Can I
vegetables?
sell or not?
No, I want to do like business type, but Brahmachari not go to sell like Maman Pukul market. Not he sell by other person.
By other persons. Yes.
I have experienced that temple give money, give property for business-minded person, and long term it didn't work because this kind of persons have a very good mind how to use this property for the better profit. But the temple authorities, they don't have the same mind, but they have the mind controlling things. And they try to, because the temple authorities say, no, don't sell this place, don't do that, because they are simply different priorities they have, and they almost never can work long term. So that's, I think, we can do, because if somebody is really submissive for the temple authorities, they can always adjust their mind for the cooperation. But the business will go down, and that will disturb the person.
So it means a man of experience. It means that if you're a submissive brahmachari, you can do. But if you want to be an independent householder, it will not work in a temple. You can do it outside the temple.
Yeah. And the profit will not be the same if you are not independent person. You depend on persons, the profit will not be the same, and you will see that the profit goes down because of some restrictions coming from the authorities, and it will cause disturbance. If you can deal with that, okay. But it's not, I would say, it's not a natural situation. Natural varna, ashram.
Also, one very important aspect, very, very important, whether it's for brahmachari or for householders, the understanding in Vedic culture is that we don't grow food or items or produce primarily for selling. And so there's a danger when we do start, because if there is excess, okay, we can distribute, but generally food is not just like milk. Milk food, cows, knowledge, as soon as we see them as commodities that we can sell or that we can make business with, then the natural tendency is to begin exploiting. How to produce more milk? Because my customers, naturally everybody wants milk. So, but you cannot supply because you have only, let's say, 2 cows or whatever. So that's why in a Vedic culture, milk is meant to be, or food for that matter also. Now, of course, we distribute, we have restaurants to bring people to Krishna consciousness, but we should not be doing agriculture with that business mentality. Yeah, this was explained many times by Srila Prabhupada, and if there is excess, yes, but we have to be careful. If there is excess, we can sell, but we have to be careful to avoid developing that business mentality. Yeah. And that's why primarily when there is excess, we distribute. And that's why in the Vedic culture,
Exchange with other goods.
yeah, we can barter, yeah. But that's why in the Vedic culture, primarily food is even land is donated. Yeah. Donated for, not for in the Vedic culture, land is not given as such. Kings who possess the land will allow people to use the land like
The
that.
permission will be okay. You
Yeah.
can use that land.
So it's, in other words, it requires a particular mindset, proper understanding. Otherwise, yeah.
And then brahmachari's main interest to the search for Brahman and make renouncement, like self-control, and it's not fit to a business type of activities.
Yes.
More reading, more discussion, more, spiritual life developing.
But he's interested
That's
in,
brahmachari's main.
but he's interested in growing things. He wants to learn to grow them.
Growing knowledge, for example, or growing renouncement.
He wants to grow potatoes
Yeah,
and tomatoes and carrots
that's okay.
for Krishna.
No, if a brahmachari, not Brahmanical, his business type mind thoughts, he is goodly done, but not Brahmanical.
Yeah. Most brahmacharis who are business type end up getting married.
No, it's okay. Marriage is a very good friend, should be the wife, not like an enemy. Protecting the senses. The good wife protecting the husband's senses.
Now we're talking about Grihastha ashram. I think it's probably time to end the class. Okay. Jai Anantara Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaur Premanande.